Okay, we are talking about customer pickup, something that's very important. And as I was mentioning, always speak in a quiet voice in the area specifically designated for prescription pickup, and be careful not to inadvertently give out protected information. For instance, do not ask, would you also like to pick up your daughter's prescription while you are here, for example? Though this may be helpful, it is a breach of HIPAA privacy regulations and provide only the prescription that was requested by the patient. Another thing that's also very important is the signature log. This indicates when the designated person can have come by to pick up a particular medication. By having their signature there, indicated that that individual is authorized for the medication. It could be the patient, or it could be a person associated with a patient. So most community pharmacies have customers sign a log to record that the prescription was picked up. This serves as proof to the third-party payer, such as Medicaid or a private insurer, that the prescription was dispensed to the patient. Third-party payers commonly review the signature log when conducting a pharmacy audit. So this is something that is very, very important. So a definition of signature log is a book which patients sign for a prescription that they receive for legal and insurance purposes, and it can be also electronic. So most places now they have electronic keypad, basically the same place where you will swipe the card to make the purchase, and you just sign in that after answering a few questions. Okay, this may seem obvious, and if you have to work as a clerk, for example, within a store, um, this should be something that should be relatively easy. However, many of the cash registers are computerized, and so it is very important that um, knowing how to go about doing this is very, very important. So pharmacy technician often bring up purchases into cash register and accept payment for prescription and over-the-counter products. Cash registers are integrated into the pharmacy computerized system, so prices for products can be automatically entered by using a barcode scanner. Scanner can be handheld or built into the computer. The scanner beam is targeted at the barcode and identify the products for the register. Products price or discounted price, if there is a prescription plan discount, is automatically entered into the register. So when we're talking about here is handling payments properly. So when a cash payment is made, it's important to count the payment within the customer line of sight and to confirm the amount already to the customer. This will allow for the avoidance of misunderstandings over what the customer thought they gave you. If a change is necessary, the amount should be counted out loud and placed in the customer's hand. An example of such a transaction could be, for example, a $20 bill is given for payment of a particular product that costs $15. Cost to change would be $5 for that particular patient. So following the general procedures as indicated, avoid disputes, either out of confusion or intent to deceive, or whether a larger bill was tendered or the correct change given. The pharmacy technician must also be able to handle checks, credit cards, debit cards appropriately, and of course, there will be training on how to use the pharmacy's machine. And also, gift cards and coupons are also something that's very important, and could be used as part of the payment for a particular prescription or other items. And of course, the pharmacy clinician must be able to handle all of these different types of payments, whether from cash, check, credit card, gift cards, or coupons. All right, so there are other duties. The pharmacy technician should know the names and location of the various over-the-counter products carried in the physician. A lot of times, even though the person may not be getting something within the sphere of the prescription medicine, they may ask, where is the mouthwash? Where is the toothpaste? And the pharmacy technician should have a general knowledge of where those items are in the store. However, the physician is not recommended, should not recommend any OTC products to a pharmacy customer. Okay, that's not under the scope of practice of a particular pharmacy technician. They may be used to reorder stock, whether within the pharmacy itself or maybe even outside the pharmacy. The pharmacy technician is generally responsible for keeping the pharmacy clean, neat, and in proper working order. So these are some of the duties. Another thing that a pharmacist may do is to order additional materials. Okay, so the pharmacy technician is responsible for reordering stock as needed. That means that the technician must know which products are used more frequently than others and render in appropriate quantities. For instance, a popular antihypertensive medication should be kept well stocked, while the medication that are not very popular or used often should be kept in a lower supply. And also, it is important that the pharmacists be able to know what to do once they receive an order from a wholesaler. So the pharmacy is usually responsible for unpacking an order, and checking that all the items on the invoice have been received. Each item must be checked to make sure that the following are ordered. They must look at the drug product, the strength, the packaging, the quantity, and also whether there are any damages, and whether the particular product has come in before the expiration date. Okay, certain definitions that you should be familiar with in relationship to retail concepts, markup. That's the difference between a retailer's price, purchase price, and the sale price. There's a price that's given by the pharmacy. Let's say it is $1 for this specific product, $1 per item. The wholesaler purchases it at $1 per item, and then the pharmacy may mark it up to $2 per item, and then when the retail gets it, is marked up to maybe $4 per item. So that is the markup. Shelf stickers. Stickers with barcodes that can be scanned for inventory identification. You see that associated with basically everything that's coming in. Basically all the products now that you find within the pharmacy, all the products within the pharmacy store, there's a sticker, and that sticker is connected directly to the computer, and the computer analyzes when something comes in, when something goes out. When we talk about a unit price, it's talking about the price of a unit of medication, such as what is the price of one liquid cold remedy. Okay, so these are some of the concepts that you see that is general to all retail outlook. Okay, other duties of the pharmacy technician. Assisting customer with where to find over-the-counter products, keeping the pharmacy clean, neat, and working order. That may mean cleaning the counters and countertop, keeping disposal supply stock, bags, vials, bottles, labels, papers, cash register receipts, etc. Facing stock bottles, making sure that they are facing outwards so that you can be easily looked at and needed, and then be able to pull expired stuff from the shelves and deal with them appropriately. Okay, and oh yes, the pharmacy technician favorite, taking out the trash. Yes, trash disposal can be something that may be done by the pharmacy technician, and then there may be a process of shredding protected health information, and that depends on the policy of the particular pharmacy in which the pharmacy technician is working. Okay, so let's go way back to the beginning. Okay, and look at thinking it through and see if we can answer those some particular questions before we end this segment here. Okay, right over here, the customer is dissatisfied with waiting for a prescription. Again, we talked about how to deal with that particular individual. Always being positive. Always, you can see this going on. And I understand where you're coming from, and we're doing the best for you so that you can get your product in the time that you desire. Okay, if there's still an escalation, that's when you turn it over to the pharmacist. An elderly customer tells you that because of her arthritis, she has had a hard time opening medication bottles. You can have that discussion with the pharmacist, and the pharmacist can provide easier open bottle capsule for her. Or and so that decision again must be signed off by the pharmacist. In regards to getting to the pharmacy, again you can turn it over to the pharmacist, and the pharmacist may be able to find transportation opportunities for her so that she can get to the pharmacist. A customer is asking about whether they can purchase an over-the-counter medication to treat her cough and cold. Again, we are talking about the Prevention of Methamphetamine Addiction Act, which covers certain products that contain pseudoephedrine, ephedrine, and again, that you cannot really say. You can say yes, but the final go ahead of whether that particular product can be purchased has to be done by the pharmacist. Okay, that ends chapter 15. Again, you should be able to talk about generalized community pharmacy um, uh, profiles that we have talked about. Notice the regulations. We did 4 major key regulations. The organization of the space, like for example, compounding area, the bins in which the final medication is placed. You should be familiar with that. Processing prescriptions, preparing prescriptions, customer pickup are also things that we talked about that you should be familiar with. And then finally, other duties that could include taking out of